Hey, Zane Griggs here. So, how many of you are weight training, okay, that want to lose weight or get a bit leaner, but maybe, you know, some of you may not be, may not be sure that that's the best thing to do. You might be concerned that it's going to make you bigger, possibly. Um, and I just want to let you know that's really pretty rare, not the case. It's rare that someone would get bigger from weight training without trying to. So really, the real benefits of weight training are improved insulin sensitivity, which I talk about a lot, which just means that insulin is more capable of getting fuel into your muscle cells. Now that sounds like, oh, it's going to make it bigger. Well, no, what that means is you're going to have fuel, you have energy. The, the, the other alternative to getting fuel in your muscle cells is that same fuel goes to your fat cells. You've got two choices because it's usually fuel you're not burning at the moment. So it's either going to go to muscle cells or fat cells. So insulin sensitivity allows more of it to go to muscle cells, so you have more energy and in stored in muscles and more energy in general for activity, less stored in fat cells, so less body fat, okay, and you get that firmer look. Of course, it also improves strength, bone density, which is a big deal, especially with women in osteoporosis. So it improves bone density, and you get that generally, firmer, leaner look to your body. Get that hard body look. You know what I'm saying? Hard, looking good on the beach. It's going to be about a little bit of resistance training, whether it's a boot camp, weight training, TRX, whatever, something where you're repping out. Okay, you're finishing your set somewhere in that between 6 and 20 reps. Usually, if you're going over 20 reps, yeah, it starts to get more cardio-like. I mean, there's exceptions, but for the most part, in a particular exercise, topping out, 15 to 20 range, that's probably the top end of strength training. And so if you're doing that in any kind of, like, again, a boot camp class, or weight training, circuit training, that's going to be good strength training, okay? But that is not to say you should be afraid of the heavy weights either. Now, there's a big misconception that heavy weights are what bodybuilders lift, and that's going to make you bigger by lifting heavy in the 6 to 8 rep range. And that's not really, it's not the case. It's not the case. Bodybuilders don't lift that way. That's not usually what creates hypertrophy. They might have a time of doing that, or maybe a day of that here and there, or maybe a small 3 to 6 week period where they do that. But for the most part, lifting that in that range, that 6 to 8 range, is going to give you strength. It's basically training your nervous system to fire off more muscle cells. Okay, so they get more from firing off. But that's, if you found a way to get bigger by doing, 3 sets of 6 or 3 sets of 8, you'd be all over the magazines. I mean, it'd be like headlines, like 40-year-old woman, gets huge doing 3 sets of 8. That just, Schwarzenegger baffled. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Bodybuilders, just in contrast, so you understand what bodybuilders do generally is a very high volume of weight or of sets and reps on a particular muscle group. Okay, that's what creates the explosion of size, with male or female, because first of all, it takes a lot of testosterone to do that, which many of them supplement with, as we know. Many of us do that anyway, just to, not that I am supplementing with that, but that's a common thing just for recovery. Okay, so that just helps with recovery. It's not makes you bigger, but it helps you recover from the workout, okay, the testosterone. But the technique is what makes you bigger. And the technique is high volume. So you do a set of 12 where it's just burning, and then you drop that weight, and with the same movement, pick up weights that are maybe 15 to 20% lighter, do another 4 or 5 reps, and then maybe even drop that down another 15, 20%, pick up the same weight and do the same set, for the last another 3 or 4 reps, getting out maybe 18 reps, dropping the weight, putting the muscle under a lot of tension, time under tension. It's usually burning all the way from like the 10th rep all the way through, just screaming, burning, pain, pops, pushes the blood and the nutrients into that muscle. And they wait about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and do the same thing over again. And they might switch to another exercise that's the same exercise and do like anywhere from 9 to 12 or 15 sets for that same muscle group, okay? Or some big supersets back and forth, chest and back, or bicep, tricep, back and forth for 9 sets of various exercises working that same muscle group. So it's pumping a lot of volume. And that's why they divide up their days into maybe 2 or 3 muscle groups in a single day and work out 6 days a week. Now, if you're just doing some circuit training or even have a 2-day split and you're hitting the gym 2 to 4 days a week, you're not going to get big. You're not going to wake up one morning and be, like I said, you'd make headlines. It's just not going to happen that way. If it does, let somebody know, tell them your secrets. Okay, you'll be famous. But, so it's nothing to be afraid of, and even the heavy weights, again, it works on strength, gets you stronger. Okay, big misconception is going to make you bigger. Now, if you're completely untrained and you haven't been lifting weights at all, then yes, anything is going to put a little bit of size in there because you, like I said, storing more fuel in those muscles, storing more glycogen in there. So you're going to have a little bit of pump at first, and then your body will relax, and you might have a little extra inflammation like the first 3 to 6 weeks, and then it will relax and calm down because it's just a new thing. Okay, it's just a new thing. Your body's responding, going, "Whoa, is this? What are we doing here?" And it's adjusting. But over time, you're going to get that firmer, leaner look to those muscles. And if you're struggling, I'm going to tell you, if you're struggling with those last 10 to 15 pounds that you can't quite seem to shake, and you're not weight training, or you're doing very little of it, you're not doing it intensely, you're not doing it in a way that's really challenging you, that might be what gets you there, because you're going to be basically 10 to 15 pounds. That could be a little bit of insulin resistance, but it's probably just putting a little more fuel in those muscles, okay, telling it where to go, as opposed, go to muscle cells instead of fat cells, creating a firmer look. So it's going to be the look you want. The weight may not change, but you're going to look 10 or 15 pounds leaner, okay? You might only drop 7 or 8 because that's all you need to drop. You just need to, redistribute that fuel from fat cells to muscle cells, okay? If that makes sense. You're just storing it in another place. This makes you look, you are leaner because you're storing less fat and have a little more fuel in the muscle, and you get that firmer, leaner look. And as I mentioned before, bone density, okay, definitely lifting heavy helps with that, gets the bones denser, okay, prevents osteoporosis, aids in that. It's not the only secret, it's not the only thing, but it certainly is beneficial. As opposed to lifting kind of lightweight, you're just kind of bored and you're kind of lifting to 15 and you just kind of stop because, okay, I hit 15, I'm going to the next one. That's not going to create a lot of bone density or a lot of change. If you're not being challenged, if you're not feeling fatigue during a set, then you're cutting yourself short, okay? You're not really getting the benefits of it. Ideally, I recommend for people who are just focused on weight loss, getting leaner, they're not worried about getting a lot bigger, not worried about maybe a lot of strength increase, muscle increase, a circuit training routine might be your best choice, where you're basically doing your full body workout, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, rotating through those muscle groups as often as, as quickly as you can. So maybe you do a set of rows, and then maybe a set of legs like lunges, and then maybe a core exercise and switch back to another upper body, okay? Maybe doing a few sets of each one, so you're doing some rows, then you might do some overhead presses with some squats, and a 30 or second or minute long plank. So rotating through different muscle groups for about 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on what you can do, and hitting in about 15 to 20 total sets in that workout. That's going to provide the insulin sensitivity. You can do that in any rep range. You can do it at 6 reps, or you can do it at 15. So depending on the muscle group or the movement that you're doing, or what it's really your choice. You have that flexibility, but you're going to get a lot of stimulation in the muscle, burning off glycogen, which means your body wants to refuel that glycogen and creating that insulin sensitivity. And there's no way you're going to get bigger or oversized muscles from doing circuit training 2 or 3 times a week. It just would defy physics. Okay, it would defy biology as we know it. Again, Schwarzenegger would be at your door. What did you do? He's like, it just would not be. It would not make sense. Okay, so take that in consideration. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or comment below so the whole class can learn. And I look forward to hearing from you again. If you know someone who benefit from this, please share or tag them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later.